Hey, so it's David All with techRepublican here with the modern media general, author of many books, including blog, Paint the Map Red. You've got a new one coming out.
It's called GOP 5.0, Republican Renaissance under President Obama.
Hugh Hewitt with the Hugh Hewitt radio show. We're here taping live from Washington, D.C. David Almasy is here also.
Howdy.
And Hugh, why don't you just tell us why you've started using Twitter all of a sudden?
It defeats the bottleneck in talk radio. For many, many years, you are limited via email. It takes time consuming to open the email. So I've always had email in the course of the show for 8 years, and then 6 lines. So 6 lines and the number of email you can manage. But it's very difficult to manage email when you're doing a show and trying to get the latest off of the wires or talking to Dwayne or doing a video or anything like that. But when Twitter came along, it allows me to use the hashtag #hhrs. I run a feed throughout the whole show, and if anyone wants to, you guys will see in the course of this thing, if I just keep updating it, people can immediately tweet me with any kind of contribution they make. Now, we just started it last week, and we already have dozens of users at any given time sending us input. Now, whether or not that becomes unmanageable, we'll wait and see. Rob Nepple over at kithbridge.com has offered to set up a screening mechanism that will somehow tag the productive contributors at Twitter. And my guess is that every talk show host who is not technologically impaired to the complete degree will be using this, because it has the effect of increasing immediacy and contact with your audience, which is the most important thing in talk radio.
Hugh, what does the Republican Party need to do to catch up online?
I've asked that question with you and Patrick Ruffini and Rob Nepple on air before. I'm doing it tonight again with you and David Almasy, and I'll be doing it with Justin Hart afterwards. I don't know the answer to that, but I know we got to keep asking that question. Now, I was a little bit alarmed. I did 6 interviews with 6 candidates for the RNC chairmanship, and each and every one of them, I asked the same thing: how big is the tech gap, and how do we close it? And I can't say I was greatly comforted by the responses. You know, Saul Nussis is obviously deep into this and into bridging it, but he hadn't fully thought through how to do it. My best view is that the RNC credential a half dozen to a dozen of you people, the wizards, and I call you guys the wizards, and get all the wizards together in a little wizard. That, by the way, is the tone that means that they're carrying it down the line. Get all the wizards in a room, come up with a strategy, implement it, and then credential the... let me see if I can lower that. I guess we probably won't.
We're getting ready to do some talk radio here with Hugh Hewitt.
Well, then you're just going to have to tune on to the show or get the podcast to find out what we talk about, because I'll be asking that question to 2 Davids as soon as the broadcast begins.
Hugh Hewitt, thanks a lot for everything you do.
Thank you, David.